Picture this. You meet someone incredible. He's charming, attentive, says all the right things. 6 months later, you're sitting in your car outside your own apartment, trying to figure out how someone who seemed so perfect left you feeling so empty, so confused about what you did wrong. Here's the truth no one wants to tell you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know what to look for. Today I'm going to expose the 5 types of men whose red flags most women miss completely. Not the obvious stuff like forgetting your birthday or flirting with other girls. I'm talking about the subtle, deeply ingrained behavioral patterns that will quietly destroy your self-worth and block you from the relationship you actually deserve. Stay until the end because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly which men to walk away from. Before we get into the types, you need to understand something. Red flags aren't random, bad behavior. They're patterns, and patterns reveal character. A man can control his behavior on a first date. He cannot control his patterns over time. What you're really watching for isn't a single incident. It's what happens when the effort to impress you stops and who he actually is takes over. Type 1, the I don't know man. On the surface, he seems easygoing. Low drama, no strong opinions, goes with the flow. You think, finally, someone who doesn't make everything a battle. But here's what's actually happening. You ask him about his goals. I don't know. His future. I don't know. What he wants from a relationship. I don't know. What he wants for dinner. I don't know. He isn't relaxed. He's absent. There's no internal compass, no vision, no sense of where he's going. And here's how it escalates. Because he has no direction, you start filling the void. You become the planner, the decision maker, the one carrying the emotional and logistical weight of the entire relationship. You do this for so long, it starts to feel normal. Until one day you realize you're not in a partnership. You're parenting a grown man. The cruel irony? The very quality that made him seem low maintenance is the quality that will drain you completely. His emptiness becomes your burden. Type 2, the all my exes were crazy man. He's charming, confident, and has a story for every situation. And every story ends the same way, with him as the reasonable one and the woman in his life as unhinged, irrational, impossible. What's actually happening beneath the surface, he is fundamentally incapable of taking accountability. Every relationship he's been in ended because of someone else. Every conflict was caused by someone else. Every problem originated with someone else. He has never once looked inward, and the escalation is swift and silent. At first, you feel special. You're different. You're not like those other girls. Then slowly, you start to notice that when something goes wrong between you two, it's always framed as your fault. Your emotions become too much. Your valid concerns become drama. You start doubting your own perception of reality. And the worst part, the woman he once told you was crazy. She started out exactly where you are now. She just got there first. Type 3. The man whose actions don't match his words. He tells you you're his priority. He says he really likes you, that he sees a future with you, that you matter to him. The words are perfect, but the actions tell a completely different story. He cancels plans. He takes hours to respond. He makes you feel like an afterthought disguised as a priority. He keeps you just interested enough with the right words at the right moments to prevent you from walking away. Here's how this pattern intensifies. You start rationalizing. He's busy. He's going through something. He's just not great at texting. You spend enormous mental energy making excuses for someone who isn't spending any energy on you. You start measuring his love by the moments he shows up rather than by the pattern of how he consistently behaves. The truth is, the more you accept less, the less he gives. Your willingness to stay through inconsistency teaches him that inconsistency works. Type 4, the The man who can't handle anger maturely. He's wonderful 90% of the time, attentive, funny, kind. But then something triggers him, and the person in front of you looks nothing like the man you thought you knew. Maybe he yells. Maybe he says something cutting that he later brushes off as just how I get when I'm upset. Maybe he goes completely cold and punishes you with silence for days. He tells you these are just emotions. Everyone gets angry, and you think, maybe he's right, maybe I'm being too sensitive. Here's what's actually happening. Anger isn't the red flag, it's how he handles it. A mature man can feel frustrated and still remain respectful. He can remove himself from a conversation, regulate, and return. What you're watching for is what his anger looks like up close. Does he call you names? Does he mock you? Does he say things like, "You're so dramatic," or "I can't believe I have to explain this to you"? Because the way he talks to you when he's angry is the way he actually sees you when he forgets to hide it. The escalation is gradual. You start changing your behavior to avoid triggering him. You choose your words more carefully. You stop bringing up certain topics. You make yourself smaller and call it keeping the peace. And the worst part, you started the relationship trying to be your best self. You end it trying to be invisible. Before we get to number 5, and this one is the most important, make sure you hit subscribe. Because understanding these patterns isn't just about relationships. It's about protecting your mental health, recognizing the behaviors that slowly chip away at you every single day, and never having to learn these lessons the hard way again. Type 5, the man who makes you feel like you're too much. This one is the most dangerous because it doesn't feel like a red flag. It feels like self-improvement. He doesn't insult you. He makes little comments, jokes at your expense that get a laugh from everyone, including you, because pointing it out would make you seem uptight. He tells you you're too sensitive when you react to those comments. He frames your needs as demands, your communication as nagging, your emotions as instability. Over time, you start to agree with him. You start policing yourself, shrinking your needs, apologizing for having feelings. You become so focused on not being too much that you forget you were never the problem. Here's the mechanism. Every joke has a hint of truth behind it. These small, repeated moments are how he tells you who you are to him, not with a speech, but with 1,000 tiny cuts wrapped in humor. And because it's never one huge incident, you can never quite point to the moment it went wrong. The escalation is invisible until it isn't. One day you realize you have completely restructured your personality around avoiding his discomfort. You don't recognize yourself anymore. But here's what makes it worse. You chose him because you wanted someone who made you feel good. And somewhere along the way, he made feeling good contingent on becoming less. Here's what you need to hear. None of these men are bad people who woke up and decided to harm you. Most of them don't even know they're doing it. But impact matters more than intent. How long have you been holding on to who he is at his best, while ignoring how he makes you feel the rest of the time? You are not too much. You are not crazy. You are not asking for too much by wanting someone who shows up consistently, communicates honestly, handles conflict with maturity, and genuinely wants to know you. The warning signs are always there early. You don't have to become a suspicious person to see them. You just have to trust yourself enough to believe what you see, not just what you're told. Instead of asking, "Is he a good person?" start asking, "Is he good for me? Is this relationship making me more myself or less?" If this gave you clarity, smash that like button and share it with a friend who needs to hear it. The one you've been watching stays somewhere she deserves to leave. Your support helps me keep making content that actually helps. Drop in the comments which one of these you've experienced. You might be surprised how many women have been through the exact same thing.